Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market, where I take a look at the luxury market, the Manhattan market, and the Brooklyn market. I do it because I want you to be informed. It never hurts when you're a consumer to be informed. Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. As always, I bring you the very latest news on what's happening in the Manhattan market, the Brooklyn market, and the luxury market here in New York City. This is for last week, the week of December 12th to the 19th. One thing I just want to mention is that this is going to be the last State of the Market report for 2022. I'm going to be giving you, of course, the weekly update, as I always do, but I'm also going to be kind of giving you a recap of what we saw happen this year and where it looks like we may be headed into 2023. So now, as we always do, we're going to get started with the luxury market report. Before we do, let me just say that if you have questions, please post them below. I'm happy to answer them. There's a lot going on in this market. This is a very complex market right now, and there's a lot of moving parts. So lots of people have lots of questions. People ask me every day, what's happening in the market? As always, feel free to share these reports if you feel they might be helpful to someone. And if you find this kind of reporting to be useful to you, please subscribe to my channel. Now we're going to get started with the luxury market. For last week, there were 16 contracts signed at $4 million and above. That is 5 fewer than the previous week. Condos outsold co-ops 7-3, while the townhouse market continued its robust performance, adding 6 contracts to the mix. The number one contract signed last week was Penthouse AB at 605 Park Avenue. It was asking $15 million. It was reduced from $17.5 million when it was listed a year ago. This post-war triplex co-op has 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2 powder rooms. The bottom floor includes a 31-foot living room, formal dining room, master bedroom, 2 other bedrooms, and a gym, all surrounded by a terrace. The second floor has a den with a wet bar and 2 other bedrooms. The top floor features a solarium surrounded by a roof terrace. The monthly maintenance is a little over $22,000, $22,047, and the amenities in the building include a doorman, a resident manager, gym, and storage. The number 2 contract was Penthouse B, also known as 31A at 100 Barclay Street. It was asking $13.45 million. It has been on and off the market since March. The condo has 4,311 square feet, including 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, and a wraparound terrace totaling 1,023 square feet. The unit features a 23 by 36 foot great room and 10-foot ceilings. The seller paid $11,193,750 in June of 2017. The building has over 40,000 square feet of amenities, including doorman, concierge, fitness center, pool, roof deck, media room, children's playroom, music room, bike room, storage, and wine lockers. If we take a look at the quick stats for last week, we'll see that the total weekly asking price sales volume was $128,545,000. The average asking price, $8,034,063. The median asking price, $7,447,500. Average discount from original ask to last asking price, 7%. Average days on the market, 597. That's it for the luxury market. Now we're going to take a look at what happened in the Manhattan market. So last week in the Manhattan market, we saw a continuation of the supply dropping as the year winds down. We also saw that surprisingly, pending sales are ticking up a little bit. And that's kind of keeping the market in check. The fact that we have lower inventory and slightly elevated pending sales is kind of keeping this market pretty stable. Now we're going to take a look at this 1 week look about the supply, the contract signed off market, kind of where this market's at. This is for last week. As I said, the supply was 105. That is a change. We were down almost 29%. That is to be expected. We are just not seeing new inventory coming on. Buyers are probably going to have to wait until the spring to see a lot of new inventory coming on the market. We saw 174 contracts signed last week. That's up almost 29%. Kind of surprising. Still a sort of a lackluster overall in terms of a historical view of pending activity, contracts signed, but we'll take it where we can get it. And as I said before, the decline in inventory and the increase in signed contracts is keeping this market in Manhattan pretty steady. The off-market properties was down a little over 19%, 238. We have now shifted in Manhattan back into a neutral market. If you've been following these reports, you know that over the last month or so, we have been kind of drifting into buyer's market territory, but looks like, at least for the moment, we are back to a neutral market. As you will see in the 1 month view of the Manhattan market, the supply is down over 54%, 611 properties for the month, contract signed 618, that's down also a little bit, about 15%. And the off-market properties, 1,083 for the month, that is up a little over 19%. Again, we have shifted in Manhattan back into a neutral market. If you look at the tail end of this market pulse chart, you can see the chart dipped. It stayed there for a little while, and now it has gone back up. As we've been saying, it probably would as things are kind of leveling out. Here's this view, this more detailed view of the Manhattan market. Gives you much more details about the supply, the pending sales, the monthly contract activity, days on market, price per square foot, median sale price, et cetera, et cetera. Take a look at this. If you have any questions on this more detailed chart, please let me know. If we take a look at the supply, you can see the way this chart is trending, that the Manhattan inventory continues to fade as the year winds down. So in this chart, you'll see that there is a slight uptick in the demand. The new listings remain in alignment with this usual lower level at this time of year. So we're not really surprised by the fact that we're not seeing a lot of new listings. And the contracts signed, again, they are up, but they are a bit lackluster as compared to prior years as this market is settling into the new lower levels. If we take a look at deal volume, the historical deal volume, we see that the monthly demand is below the historical trend from where we were at the beginning of this year. Let's say February, March, where we saw 1,200, 1,300, 1,500 contracts being signed a month, whereas now we are between 600 and 700 contracts being signed a month. Our deal volume is down 60%. Now, does that mean prices have fallen as well? We don't really quite have those September, October, November stats yet. We are beginning to get those numbers, and the data that we're seeing is a bit mixed. It may be that the contract activity is down, the demand may be down, historically speaking. However, we're beginning to see some mixed signs that perhaps it may be volume that's down, but it may not be so much that the prices are down. That's something that we're going to keep an eye on, of course, as we head into 2023, because we just don't have all those numbers yet. As we get them, and we should have them fairly soon, we're going to start to really see where we are as we go into 2023. Okay, that's it for the Manhattan market. Now we're going to take a look at what happened in Brooklyn. So, what happened in Brooklyn last week? Well, we can see that just like with Manhattan, the supply was down almost 12% for the week, 104 properties. Contracts signed 116, up almost 5%. Off market up almost 15% at 110. Brooklyn continues to stay in that neutral market. If you look at the 1 month look, you'll see the supply is 471. That is down almost 45%. Contract signed 462, down almost 12%. Off market properties 405, up almost 7%. If you take a look at this market pulse chart, you'll see that just as with Manhattan, this chart is moving up. It has stayed in the neutral market, but you can see whereas it had been kind of flat, little bit of activity bouncing around in there, but essentially steady, we're starting to see an uptick. That is in part because we see such a decline in inventory. We continue to see relatively steady, if a little lackluster, pending sales. Now, if you take a look at these more detailed charts to see the supply, the pending sales, the price per square foot, the monthly closed sales, et cetera, it'll give you a sense in a much more nuanced way of what's been happening of late. Again, we're going to look at the supply for Brooklyn. 3,082 is the supply, all supply for Brooklyn. That is down almost 5% for the year to date, almost 10% from last month, and down 12% from last year. The pending sales in Brooklyn at all price points, 1,842, that is down 31.5% year to date, down 2.2% from last month, and down 32.4% from last year. Okay, that is it for last week's look at the Brooklyn market. And that is it for the final look at 2022. I'll be back after the holidays with the very latest news on what is happening in the New York City real estate market, all the latest news on the Manhattan market, the Brooklyn market, and the luxury market. In the meantime, happy holidays and take care.